Right guys, today I wanted to make a video about whether I think Ralf Rangnick should uh, become the permanent manager of Manchester United. And basically my opinion on it is that I don't think they should be making this decision this early on in his time in charge. So he's got three and a half months left as Man United manager until the middle of May. So that's February, March, April, and half of May. And then he's still at Manchester United even after that. So it's not like a decision has to be made urgently, and it's not even like his record as Man United manager has been astonishing. Like, if we're being honest, Antonio Conte's probably had a better start at Tottenham than Rangnick has at Man United, because if we look at the teams Ralf Rangnick's played, there isn't really anyone who is like who you would expect to beat Man United. They started off with a 1-0 win over Palace and a 1-0 win over Norwich, two results that Man United should be winning. They then got a disappointing 1-1 draw against Newcastle, a really disappointing game for United. They beat Burnley 3-1, as you'd expect. And then, what's after that? I'm missing one here. A 1-0 loss at home to Wolves. That is not a good result. 2-2 draw to Aston Villa, again letting a 2-goals lead slip. And then recently 2 wins away at Brentford 3-1, and also a 1-0 win against West Ham at the weekend, which again was a good win. So it's not ridiculously convincing so far. So for me, they definitely shouldn't be giving it to him right now like they did with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as soon as there's one good bit of form. They definitely need to wait until the end of the season for me. I think 6 months will be enough to decide whether he has what it takes to be Man United manager. And to be honest, I'm not even sure if they will or if they should by the end of the season, because if we go off what we've seen so far, he played this strange, weird formation that was so narrow in his first few games, like having two defensive midfielders and then 2 players that were like 3 number 10s. They weren't wingers, and it was hard to say what position they were, and then 2 forwards. It just didn't work. It seems like one of those formations that might work in another league in Europe but wouldn't work at all in the Premier League. And recently he's changed it to a 4-2-3-1, which is what United were playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I'm not even sure if they have improved that much since Rangnick's come in over Solskjaer. I think maybe I think Solskjaer was just having a really bad run of form, but I don't think either were really what Man United need. I think more than anything, the squad might be a problem at Man United more than the manager, because Solskjaer, I don't think either are really good enough, to be honest. But Solskjaer did all right at Man United. He just had a really poor start to this season. Like last season, finishing second, that's a good season. The season before, getting top 4 with a relatively poor squad, especially at the start of the season, was quite good. And his first season, he improved it to start with, but then it really did fall off towards the end of the season. But overall, he did a decent job, but he didn't do anything spectacular. And he isn't an elite manager, that is easy to say. And I don't see anything in Rangnick so far that is really anything different, to be honest. If he is a very good, person to have higher up in the club as like some sort of, I've forgotten what role they were giving him, like some sort of advisor role or something. If that suits him, then just let him finish the season as interim and just give him that role, and then look to appoint like a top class manager who, I mean, there will be more chance of him coming in this time because he will, in theory, a new manager will want like a transfer window before the season starts to bring a couple of players in he wants. And looking at this Man United team, there's a few positions that have got quite a few good players, but there's also quite a few positions where you just think, who do you play there in the starting 11? Because there's not really anyone really up to it right at the moment. But yeah, I just can't see the reason behind giving him the permanent role right now. Like all of this, I read an article this morning. I can't remember it was on the gossip page of like BBC or something, and I can't remember which newspaper or like what company it was like spreading the news. But there was talk about Man United giving Rangnick the permanent job. Why on earth would you do that right now, is my opinion, when he's only had 9 games, I think, because there was an FA Cup win against Villa as well. But yeah, United's squad is the main problem, I think, that there's so many players that need to be moved on. And weirdly, a few of the players that they are trying to move on are ones that I probably wouldn't. Jesse Lingard, when he's played this season, has been genuinely very good for United. However, Cristiano Ronaldo, right, he's scored some important goals. He's done well in that regard. But, and I'm not trying to annoy people by saying this, but although he's done all right, he sort of gets in the way a bit because he's not for the future. He's not a player suited to the Premier League anymore. Like Serie A would suit him a lot more, because there isn't as like to be a Premier League striker these days. You have to be a hard-working player to succeed. And Ronaldo, yeah, he's hard-working, but not in that way, as in like he's not constantly running at defenders trying to win the ball back. And you get other players for United who are, I think Cavani does that more than Ronaldo. In fact, I would argue that United are a better side when Cavani plays, because Cavani is a team player more than Ronaldo. So they'll never get rid of Ronaldo because he's too big a name to get rid of. Who else is going out of the door right now? At the moment, it looks like Van der Beek is. Van der Beek hasn't had a proper chance at United, we all know that. And the players they should be trying to get rid of are the likes of Ronaldo, players who aren't really good enough from what we've seen of them. Players like I was thinking, I had someone in my head just then. Eric Bailly, if we're being honest. He's so inconsistent and like so prone to errors, but they don't get rid of these players for some reason. But anyway, I don't think Rangnick's a problem, but I wouldn't give him the permanent role. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.